Yeah, I have something else to share. It's a little bit of sideline experience, but it's very interesting to me. It's been referenced, of course, to watch the words that you use, and sometimes I struggle with that. I use like I don't know whatever words, the personal self is kind of routine with certain things and certain ideas. So just kind of getting through that, facing that, and one of the ways that I've been doing it is trying to say, instead of I'm thinking or I think, I say I see. Oh, I see, this is what I see, or I see this, just to set the personal self up. And, of course, the SEEE, the three E's, is kind of what I'm putting my focus with, is when I say, like, okay, instead of like, again, I think I see, that's what the three E's. And slowly, as I've been doing that, and again, I do that also with the, I forgot. If let's say I don't, you say I forgot something. Well, instead of saying I forgot, I say, oh, I don't see that right now. And then I notice that as I say that, and as I set myself up to where it's just something I don't see at the moment, it comes back really easy, as opposed to saying, oh, I forgot, and then there it is, it's gone. It's like I willed it to be gone. It's kind of interesting. And no, anyways, as I've been doing this, and again, it's not perfect, but I've been doing it little by little. It's just a little practice I've been doing, trying to set myself up for a better position here. And again, as I've been doing that, I noticed that the real side, you might say, or the multi dimensions, are blending really, really more fluently with the physical realm, to where, if I even if I have like a real side experience, I never really, it's not never really, but I try not to use a real side too much, because the real side is here and now. Yes, it is a real reference, but it is here and now also. So I just say, well, this is what I see. This was my experience, not on the real side, because then it kind of, at least for myself, I noticed that I was kind of having this idea that it was somewhere else. So I had to kind of break that down, kind of use something else, because I was getting a little literalized with that. So I just say, okay, I see, this was my experience, this is what I had seen. And again, as I've been doing that, the multi dimensions have been blending really well with the physical, and to where my awareness is opening up and I'm seeing a whole lot more. I mean, in these nightly experiences, but also to, having these beings coming up to me, or seeing more even with the physical eyes, or really with my awareness. And so I just thought that was really interesting. The again, the words we use kind of shape our, really kind of actually entrap our awareness. They don't really shape it, because awareness just is, but the ideas that we agree to kind of almost shape it, like if water takes the shape of its container, something like that. So
Yeah, no, it's very real. Yes, I do the same thing, and I still use the words "oh, I think" or whatever. The old idea from the Bible, and many people use that are religious, is the "I am" thing. Just like Moses in the burning bush, "I am that I am." Okay, so again, that's referring to the personal self or the Calvin God, etc. He wants to stay a mystery. So that's the whole idea. If you ever saw the movie Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston, and I used to love that movie, saw it 20 times or more. Used to go to the theaters every year and just see it because it would come out at Christmas time. But you see that. And this is why I write in the groups, I is. Okay, if I refer to myself, it's an is, or you is, or we is, instead of we are. I will use "we is," and I'm sure that bothers people, but it's giving them the hint of this isness. So when you say, "I see," there's the is right there. I look for words um, that create that IS, and it's like intentional with the ALL at the end, intentional, instead of just intent. Also, you can mix it up, intentional seer. So you have the IS again with these words. So I play with this to constantly, put that out there. And yes, again, we need the literal self. And so you just become user friendly with it. That's all. Just like we need our car. Yeah, we don't fight the idea, etc. We utilize whatever we can, and the literal side and how we framework things is for others. You know, like children, they need their blocks to play with. They need to learn the ABCs to start to get a focus on something, and that's what creation is to help us focus, so that we can eventually take the next step and see the invisible that we already is. And so it's a roundabout experience, and Paul talked about that too. We don't go straight because it's like question and answer, thinking that, oh, once I get the answer, this is where people will ask you about what we're doing. Oh, I'll know what it is. Well, in the literal sense, you may think that, but no, you won't get it either, because you need the experience to back up the literal part, just the literal part to get through. And that's huge too, and that's creation. And so we need all these parts. And so what you're seeing there is a better way to create your own avenue for the experiences that you want, you see? And so we all do it in our own way. And this is what's so cool, is because it's endless, and we all do it in our own way, but we have the main focus, and that is on what all life is already. And it's not something we're creating. We play in creation, but yeah, you decide how you're going to set yourself up here and doing what you're doing. So it's like you kids, you know, I see like you and Kelsey, and now let's say Christian. Very good ad to you kids get together and toss this around to get objective views about this, because it's possible. And just like some of the movies, you get to go on these spy adventures, like Kevin, yes, the four of you, and then others that want to join, etc. And Val's there, you know, he likes to ride the bus too. So anyone else, and we get viewpoints from them. So see, all these viewpoints add up, and I see that it is just terrific, better than the Avengers or the X-Men or whatever. So and more so than the Justice League. We're real. Yeah, we're real, and it's so cool. Yeah. So as we keep that focus, and Rebazar is the answer, and he's heading all of this. And so, but you know, all the guides are there a little at a time, helping us along, because it's a lot for us, even though they give us little this and that's here. Well, a lot more is going on what is termed as the real side. Is just something to show people that there's something different available. That's the whole idea in the literal sense. Because again, I look at, I would rather just share pictures that Ava and I do, like the beach pictures that Ava took, and then we add the isness image to it. But people are not going to understand that. They're not going to understand, oh, the sun's shining, just learn to see it, even though I write about it, whatever. They're not going to understand that. They need it broken down. Because again, how they've been set up, what they've come through, etc. So we do the best we can with how literalized the world is. And when I say literalized, how it is in the groups, that's not a bad thing. It's just that getting people to recognize how their thoughts, feelings, and ideas have been coordinated according to the created systems. And just like the Indians, how they raised their children, their thoughts, feelings, emotions, actions were, they were taught according to the environment and not a system. That's the difference. And getting people to recognize that, you have to take them through the steps. You really do, because they're not going to just see it. They're not going to just recognize, okay, the sun's shining, what does that mean? They're not going to, that's huge. And it's endless. They're not going to just recognize that. So yes, when you say, I see, that's good. That's for you. But it doesn't mean the next person can understand that. You see? Not at all. And so you have to see it from their viewpoint. So as I'm doing this with the government, I gave some warnings to the people that I'm working with that are helping me along. And that is that don't just think that because they're saying that it's okay now, that it's all going to come out. because these people are treacherous, and the people that we're working with in the U.S. Treasury and whatever, they don't know what they're doing. They're just puppets and being told, etc. And so if I get an okay from the so-called some of the world controllers, which I already have, if I get the big okay, then it's okay. But if a bad guy steps in there and tries to ruin it, well, then it's not okay, and things can get strange. See, so again, it's a tippy toe, whatever. And so again, you have to recognize, yes, you, as you go along, and you, Jeremy, and you others, you're recognizing this very fast. But at the same time, you can come to conclusions with it, you see. And so it's seeing that, then you kind of set it aside to always look at the invisible and focus on the guidance. Yes, so you recognized how that is with yourself at the same time. So you have that literal side, which is fine, but you see it for what it is, just like your car or your computer, you see it for what it is. And so again, you're just setting up your thinking with the 5 bodies, but the real you is that invisible reality where there is none of this. So recognizing that too and having the comparison. Okay, so that's where we are.